Hello class, this is Carolyn Haskins, and for the facility presentation I chose a mental health services organization called NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So for a little history of NAMI, it started in 1979 just as a small group of families sitting on a kitchen table, and now it's the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. It also is an association with hundreds of local affiliates and state organizations and volunteers that work in communities across the nation to raise awareness and provide support and education that was not previously available in those areas. So what does NAMI do? So they focus on education, which is again offered in thousands of communities across the United States. They advocate, they help to shape national policy for people with mental illness. Listen, they provide a toll-free helpline, and then lead, public awareness events and activities. So a little bit more on this helpline. It is a toll-free helpline. It isn't 24 hours, but here are the hours, 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. 90 volunteers provide support and resources for over 30,000 callers each year. And in an effort to broaden their impact, they provided their resources and training materials to other organizations to help spread this helpline information. And then obviously if someone has a crisis outside of those zones, they have a text NAMI to 741741 for other information. So for some recent developments, at the end of June of this year, a new president for the NAMI Board of Directors was elected for the 2018 to 2019 term, Adrienne Kennedy. She discovered this organization back in 2005 as she had a son with mental illness who recently passed, but since then she has been very involved and even served on the Austin Committee. And now she is the president and has been selected on her second term for the national board. So she's been very involved. So NAMI partners with others that share their values and help to fulfill their mission while collectively increasing visibility and impact. So they partner with corporate and foundation supporters, Stigma Free Company as a brand partner, influencer ambassadors and supports, and then of course community partners. So NAMI is a nonprofit membership organization, again governed by a board of directors elected by the membership. The board of directors follow national bylaws and operating policies and procedures, and they created a plan, a 2015-2019 strategic plan that they also follow, which helps shape their goals, priorities, and activities. So here is the board of directors. As I already mentioned, the president, Adrienne Kennedy, just got elected. They have a first and second vice president, a treasurer, and then a secretary. So councils. NAMI's work is informed by people living with a mental health condition or their loved ones, and 4 councils advise the board. So the first is a peer leadership council, which includes individuals who live with mental illness and who are elected by the state organizations. They also have an executive directors council, so the different executive directors at all the different state organizations and affiliates. They have a council for service members, veterinarians, or veterans, and their families. And then also state presidents council, current presidents of the different state organizations. So the way their staff is divided, there's 8 different departments. And the first one is senior leadership. They set strategic direction of the organization and supports their passion. The second is information, support, and education, and this group develops programs, presentations, and classes, as well as provide tools and resources to help learn more about mental illness. Advocacy and public policy, they work to address injustices, improve prominent policy issues, and educate policymakers. The fourth is marketing and communication, which provides quality content and resources using the website, social media platforms, and their print publications. There's also field advancement, fosters strategic partnerships and meaningful connections within the alliance. Strategic alliance and development, securing financial resources and developing high-profile partnerships. Internal strategy and support, supports other departments and programs, including their helpline. And the last one is finance and human resources, which is focused on supporting and bringing out the best in their staff. So they provide a variety of programs nationwide, which can be even offered in a variety of settings like churches and schools. And trained volunteers bring these programs to the communities. So they have various education classes, they have ways to improve outreach and advocacy, they have prepared presentations, and of course support groups. So with further on advocacy, they have a really strong following, and this was from their 2017 financial report. This information was given. It shows that at the National Convention, over 1,000 advocates visited Capitol Hill to kind of help work towards certain bills that they wanted to be brought forth. Almost 200,000 emails to Congress, again, similar issues. Again, really strong following there. And so to get into financials, a majority of NAMI's funding does come from individual contributions, and the remainder comes from major foundations and corporate sponsorships, dues, grants, events, and other partnerships. They host a walk every year, and last year, 2017, $11.3 million was raised across the country by 68,000 participants, which is really huge. And then there is this hashtag Giving Tuesday, saw a 90% increase in donations from the year before, and overall NAMI saw a 16% increase in total revenue from 2016. So here's just a list of just general their corporate and foundation supporters. And then more specifics on their 2017 financials. As I said, majority of it does come from individual contributions, the 78%. And then there's the breakdown from the dues, events, government, walk, investments. And so in total, a little over 15 million there. And then for expenses, here's the breakdown of their expenses, including advocacy, development, administration, capacity building, information support and education, and programs and membership, which is almost to 14 million. The total net assets is 13.48 million for 2017. And here is a little snapshot of kind of their growth they experienced in 2017. It shows how their outreach in social media has grown, how they have partnered with other organizations to help spread the knowledge and the importance of understanding mental health. They worked with Women's Health. They had gained a lot of support there, and then even increased awareness contributed to a 20% increase in online giving for Mental Health Month compared to the same month in 2016. So overall, their program is doing really well at spreading education and information. So this is the various healthcare services under mental illness that they cover, that they help to provide treatment for: ADHD, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, depression, dissociative disorder, eating disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizoaffective disorder, and then schizophrenia. And then they have related conditions that aren't specifically mental illness, but often come along with mental illness. And these are the ones specifically, self-harm, suicide are big ones, sleep disturbances, psychosis. And so they provide information on these as well to be on the lookout for these related conditions. So there's located in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And then there's 29 locations in Texas alone. So to further go into one of them, specifically the NAMI Austin one, they provide the same resources on their specific website that are offered on the national level. And there's additional PDF resources available online and links to other related local organizations that could help someone. So here's an example of a handout they have: Change the Conversation. So maybe if someone is worried about one of their family or friends and wants to kind of sit down with them and discuss mental health. This is kind of a help step-by-step to make it easier and to show that 1 in 5 Americans do experience a mental illness. So it is very common, kind of giving them common warning signs and easy ways to start the conversation. Maybe, I've noticed you've been sleeping more or sleeping less. Is everything okay? And things like that. And then further information. Here on their Austin site is just a snapshot of part of their list of other organizations provided that are given in Austin. And that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. Here again is their website and their different social media links. I look forward to reading any comments that you may have. Thank you so much.